Welcome, welcome. This is Common Ground, and I'm Jason Downs. Welcome to a place where we can all agree on the important stuff, like community and roots and family. And our guest today embodies all of these and more. So stick around for a stimulating conversation with Mr. Jim Sandifer. Today is January 31st, and I'm so glad you've joined us here on Common Ground. Here's to a great show, a great day, and a great week for all. Our show is sponsored by Denny and Company, LLP certified public accountants. They make your life less taxing at dennyllp.com. And of course, the law offices of Lou Espin. When experience counts, count on experience at espinlaw.com. ESBINLAW.com. Now, Jim Sandifer works for Saugus Union School District as Measure EE project manager. He's been in Santa Clarita since 1977 and was a successful business owner for 30 years, which served the Santa Clarita Valley, actually. Welcome, first of all, welcome. It's so great to see your face again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you calling me in.
Absolutely. We met doing Miracle on 34th Street, right down the block at Canyon Theater Guild, and we immediately became buddies and had a blast together doing the show. Would you consider yourself a class clown a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Were you the kid who was
100%.
always?
Are you kidding? I absolutely love that. It was a great experience, and I was there to have fun, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I got to tell you, the cast, the director, at first I was really taken back with the experience of the cast. How many people have been on commercials and done movies, and I haven't done anything, right? And so I needed someone to latch onto, such as yourself, for that experience. And because I was a little terrified at first, but after a while, it was like it was fantastic. I don't even know how to explain that. It was just fabulous.
Well, you certainly enjoyed yourself. Right?
Oh, 100%.
And you certainly were a natural. So you took to the boards like a fish in water. What made you decide at this point in your life? Okay, successful businessman. You've been project manager for how long? You've been project manager for the
about
district?
7 months, but I've been employed with the school district for almost 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
So why did you decide at this point in your life to try the theater?
Well, I've always sat on the other side in the audience, and I'm a bit of a ham, so I do enjoy, the attention. I'll admit that, and my family would agree to that too. But my wife said, you really ought to try out for it. I'm like, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's my thing. I've never done anything, not even in school.
But what prompted your wife to even say that, though?
Probably to get me out of her hair.
Okay. but you must have shown some interest or affinity. There must have been conversations, right?
Yeah, it was a new experience, and I don't want to call it a bucket list, but
Okay.
It kind of felt like a little bit of a bucket list,
Okay.
but I got to tell you, I miss it dearly already, and it's only been a month?
Yeah. Yeah, our last show was December 23rd, right? Day before
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, and the camaraderie that we had in the background, it
Well,
was
yeah.
like another sense of another family,
It's true. It really does. It really happens on a set or when doing a show like this, and especially for someone like you who, you threw yourself in, and you got involved in the construction of the sets and with Mr. Doug Holliday and whatnot, who I will definitely have on the show at some point too.
Oh,
So you
good.
should probably join us when he comes in, so you guys can.
Oh yeah, we all did a lot of bantering in the background, didn't we?
We certainly did. So you have your eye on another show there already, or?
We're actually gonna go see that the Clue. I think it's
Of course,
Clue,
yeah.
right?
Clue is coming
My
up.
wife has already booked that, and I don't know what else to expect from what you guys have shown me and told me. And I've thought about, getting involved with another show, but I
Yeah.
never realized how much time it takes, and
How did your wife feel after, the experience was done? Did she feel like, oh, that was such a nice respite to have Jim out of my hair for that long, or was it more like, wow, that was a really big time commitment?
She didn't say anything about the time commitment. She just felt like
Okay.
she was left out. What is
Oh.
that called? FOMO?
Oh, okay. Fear of missing out. So why don't you invite her to the audition next time?
I don't think she could do it. I don't know. Maybe she could do it. I shouldn't say that, but
At this time, I would like to invite any of Jim Sandifer's family or
my
friends who are listening to call in and give me some good questions to ask the big Jimbo here. The number for anyone who doesn't have it is 661-298-5487. We have Patty here, our engineer, standing by. He will make sure you are legit. Uh, we got to be careful who we let on the air here. But
I'm already cringing. Who's gonna call
I just
it?
want to. I mean, it just seems like this would be really fun to do with Jim in particular because he's down. He's game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Whatever they got to say, it's great.
Speaking to
Oh,
the mic there
I'm
so
sorry.
we can
I
hear
keep
you.
leaning
No,
back.
it's okay. I want you to be comfortable. Just he's so casual. Patty is a little traumatized today, folks, and it's my fault.
I wouldn't say traumatized.
I apologize. Well, normally we don't have a show today, I guess, and but we shifted some things around. I think it's my fault. So anyhow, thank you for
I got you.
jumping in like you always do with your sunny disposition. Anyway,
Fine.
I'm a little concerned. There's no chips and dip here, but
I feel like that's all Jason's doing on
Oh,
that
is
one. I feel like that was his promise.
the only way I could get Jim to come and do the show was was if I promised him food. So anyway, that's what I blamed on Patty.
To be fair, Jason, I'd be saying the same thing. Like, where's my chip and dip?
Where are my chips and dip?
Where's
Next
my
time.
food?
No, that's actually not a good practice. Not the best thing for radio. I don't think. Well,
well, the
Oh
crunching.
yeah, just the
crunching
crunching
away.
on the mic.
But anyway, anyone, yeah, any of Jim's friends or family who want to call in, I welcome. I welcome it. So, all right. So not Clue. Obviously, you're not doing Clue, but you're interested in potentially doing another show. I think you should ask your wife to join you. She felt left out.
Well, if she's interested, she can join me.
mean-
She's a school teacher, so she can't hear this interview, so I'm safe.
You had,
But
I
I'm
mean,
sure her
you
dad's
did, you
listening.
Did, you did three roles in that thing. She doesn't need to, jump in with both feet like you did. She could be, just in the show.
Incidentally, three roles for a first time. What do you think of that? I mean, I didn't know what to think of that.
Really?
I've never done
I think
it.
you should feel good about it. What do you mean?
I mean, well, drunk Santa, right?
You were typecast.
That took a while, and then Mr. Gimbal,
Uh-huh,
that
yeah.
wasn't bad, and then Finley,
Yeah,
was interesting.
who was the bailiff, right?
The bailiff,
court
yes,
bailiff.
yes.
You were a natural. You were a natural.
Well-
I still wish that you had had more fun being the drunk Santa. That's all. You had a blast being, the big Mr. Gimbal,
Yep.
the boss man, the owner of Gimbals, and you had a great time, wrangling the court.
Right, I
every
did have a
night
good
as
time
the
with the
bailiff.
court and messing with Doc Holliday. I call him Doc Holliday, Doug Holliday.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, no, I called him Doc too.
And then,
How can you not? I mean, come on, Doc Holiday.
That's kind of Holiday, Doug. But the drunk Santa was probably the most, for some reason, was the most challenging role for me. You would think that anybody could play drunk, right?
Oh no, it's difficult. It's quite difficult.
And I had this thing of like, what I think what a drunk person should be. And the first time I showed that acting skill in front of the director, she pulled me aside and she's a director. That's her job. And it felt like it tore me apart when she was just trying to be supportive. And I understand that now.
Right.
But then I didn't, because I had no idea, what I was doing.
It was your first time.
Yeah.
you
And
had
so
no expectations.
Yeah, it almost like stepped on my ego or something,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I had a hard time with it. But I feel like I did okay with it. Don't you? I mean,
I think you did better than okay with
Yeah.
it. You know that.
Yeah.
I was highly supportive of you through the
Yeah.
whole process. No, but you're right. It's not easy. It's not easy. And yeah.
Well,
good
and the-
thing you had lots of people around you, to give you moral support.
everywhere I went, I was always saying the lines, like in my car, at home, my wife would hear me screaming out Mr. Gimbal or, stuff like that and would make fun of me. But I think that's what it takes. And once it's kind of weird, once you got the words down, you could act, you understood what your title was and you knew how to act in that title after that. It was, because the words at that point, I never looked at the book.
Yeah.
After that,
So you found that once you got past that initial learning of the lines and not having to think about or worry about all of that, you found that you felt secure in that character, and you could just sort of step into it.
And I was like, and
'cause
I was that
you
person.
improvised a couple times too.
Oh yeah, I was that person, and that was the best part for me. But I was also a little timid about improvising because somebody would come up to me and say, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that," or "That's off script," but it felt comfortable.
No,
it felt right.
You had to improvise. The instances I'm thinking of anyway, you had to improvise because somebody dropped a line or you know what I mean, or didn't come in on time, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Didn't make their entrance, that sort of thing.
But I look back on that when they dropped their line, that was the best point. I mean, best part. I really enjoyed that because, first of all, you're kind of not scared because I wasn't scared at all in front of the people. It didn't bother me at all. I'm a bit of a ham, like I said.
Like I said, you're a natural.
But it was just the fun of improv, I guess is right. Is that right?
Yeah, improv. Yeah. So you had your first experience. I don't know, man. I'm just based on what you've said, I would at least invite your wife.
Yeah.
To join to audition for the next one, to be a part of the part of the chorus, so to speak, because there are plenty important roles to be filled, as you saw, by people who don't have lines or maybe have one line or
right,
who are just in the show.
Well, I know that I will probably most definitely go for next year.
Good.
Yeah.
You mean the Christmas play, whatever it is?
I think I'd like to try.
Oh, you should. You should.
I don't think I would do the judge, but I think I would be interested in Mr. Macy.
Oh well, they're not going to do the same show next year. They'll do a different Christmas show.
Oh.
They do it in rounds. So the last time they did this show was like 6 years ago or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just assumed that it was always the same show every year.
No, they have several Christmas shows that they cycle through. Maybe it'll be A Christmas Carol next year. Maybe it'll be,
Interesting. Very interesting.
I think they did Elf last year or a couple of years, whenever the last time they were allowed to do the show. Anyway, you see what I mean.
Yeah.
But either way, you'd be great.
Well, thank you for your support.
Highly recommend it. So let's talk about, just for a sec, what you do and what you've done for the past 30 years. I mean, so you were a contractor, you had your own business, and
right.
You said you served the Santa Clarita Valley. What did you do?
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. So as I worked my way up Saugus Union School District, I've been there, employed with them for about 30 years. I also have a Class B general contractor's license. So I essentially worked 2 jobs for 30 years, to help support my kids, my family here in Santa Clarita. The company, I've closed it up since, sold it. Obvious name is Jim Sander for Construction, which is no longer in business. I want to make that clear. Mm-hmm. But we did a lot of cabinetry, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels. It was fantastic. And then while I was working at the school district, so after hours, I had my own shop, the whole bit. And we only served Santa Clarita Valley.
So wait a minute. How did that work? You were running the business. Mm-hmm. And you had obviously other people on construction sites while you were working for Saugus.
Nights
right?
and weekends. We worked nights and weekends.
Oh,
and
so you didn't have someone on like working during
no,
the day?
And sometimes we'd just use subs, but very rarely. But all of my employees also worked for Saugus, and we'd all work together at night. Yes.
Cool. Okay.
And weekends, but we worked an awful lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It was a great experience. And then, meanwhile, I was just a maintenance guy. Well, not just a maintenance guy, because it's just as important. Maintenance, custodio, teachers.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy what's going on today. But I don't want to get into that too much. But I mean, I will if you ask me. But and they kept sending me to school, giving me opportunities, and I just kept bettering myself, and I'm very thankful for that. And today I've worked my way up to administration, which is I'm in charge of Measure EE, project manager,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of the buildings, or all the buildings, pretty much.
That's some hardworking boys right there. I mean, you were working all day for the district and
Yep.
then coming home
Yep.
and doing jobs on the side.
Yeah.
Wow. How many kids? How
I
many
have
kids do
3
you
kids, and you're
Okay.
gonna love this part. So, my wife's a school teacher, my daughter's a school teacher, and my other daughter's a school teacher. My
Wow.
son's in Wisconsin, and he wants to be a history school teacher. So we have 3 school teachers at the same place that I employed at now, Saugus School District.
Wow.
And they all work at different schools. So I always make fun of everybody telling them we're going to take over Saugus.
Sounds like it. That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, so how many buildings or construction sites are you working on at once for the district at any given time?
Well, right now we have 3 in process. We have another one that's open for bid. It's
Okay.
public projects, and it's quite amazing. I really enjoy. I wish I was here 20 years ago in this spot, because this is where I belong, and it's the happiest I've ever felt.
Well, that's
on
something.
these projects.
That's something actually I have down here that I wanted to ask you about.
Sure.
Because you seem like a guy who loves what he does, has a great attitude, likes to laugh, and is generally just happy. And you don't often come across that. So I want to know what your secret is.
That's it.
What you got for us?
My family is my biggest support. We and just enjoying life, right? And life is too short to be angry all the time. Honestly, I know that this is probably a cliche, but
Doesn't hurt to hear, my friend.
and it's very important with your family, supporting your kids, being close to your kids, and yeah, we may not always get along, but we all still love each other. We all still support each other. And that's one part of it. The other part is being happy at what you do, in my opinion, what your job is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not happy at either one of those, it's going to reflect back to one side of it, right? And I haven't always been perfect or happy or go lucky. It's just in the last 10 years that I realized that why am I getting upset about this little thing? It's out of my control. Why am I trying to control others? I can't do that. I just want people to get along, and I want to make the best of it and rock life. Does that make sense? I want to rock life.
It makes sense. I love it. I'm trying to imagine if everyone had that attitude, what a wonderful place this would be. So you want to rock life.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
That's what I want.
And I can tell. You know what I mean? That's why I asked the question, because I think that's why we sort of hit it off from the beginning, and we're sort of naturally sort of drawn to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the things that people are immediately attracted to about you as a person, is that you can tell that you're in it to feel good, have fun, and rock it.
Right. And when I'm running these projects, I have teams, and they're separate teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not interested in the big ego thing. I'm not interested in, just because I'm in charge of everybody, that, I have this opportunity to treat them poorly. I think everybody's important when it comes to education or any kind of team. And I'll use the school district, for example. Like, to me, whenever I'd show up on a job site, I go talk to the custodian. I'll go talk to whoever's in my way, whether it's campus supervisor, not in my way, but, a teacher, or it doesn't matter who they are or what their title is. That's not, it doesn't, that's the way it should be.
That's humility as well. You practice humility.
Yeah, I don't want to talk down to anybody.
Exactly. This idea that you have something to learn from everyone around you, and that's
yeah. And that helps my job go even better, because then I know what they need, what is required, or what they, their opinion matters. So when my team, and I call it the architect, the inspector of record, and the contractor, and myself, we have these weekly meetings every week for each project, and everybody's opinion matters, and we all have to get along. It's very important that we all work together on the problem. We may not always get along, but we do our best to come up and problem solve. There's no yelling, there's no fighting, and I've made that very clear. So, and I have been on projects that have had that happen. It's not pleasant.
No.
And so that's the way we're going to have a successful project.
So what happened 10 years ago that sort of kicked this off? Was there a specific event?
I had
Let's save that. Let's take a break. I want to hear this story next. Don't forget, we're with Jim Sandifer here. He's project manager for the Saugus School District, and been a resident here since 1977. And we're getting some wisdom, some golden nuggets here. So when we come back, we're going to find out what the catalyst was for this Zen-like happiness, this state that you're currently in, this state of peace that you found with your work and your family and your life. So stick with us right here on Common Ground. This is KHTS 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
It's murder, mystery, and mayhem at the Canyon Theater Guild. Usher in the new year with laughter and mystery at the hilarious comedy Whodunit, Clue on Stage. Was it Miss Scarlet in the kitchen with the wrench? Perhaps it was Mr. Green in the billiard room with the rope. Only one way to find out. Based on the popular board game and adapted from the cult classic film, Clue on Stage will keep audiences guessing and laughing to the very end. Get your tickets by calling 661-799-2702 or online at canyontheater.org.
February's Senior Free Month at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Visitors 65 and older receive free admission all month long. Whether you choose to get up close to your favorite wildlife, explore our unique habitats, relax with a drink and a view at Kimajami Overlook, or come along for an unforgettable safari adventure. There's something for everyone and countless memories to be made. With each and every visit, you make it possible to save wildlife worldwide. Guests must present their valid photo ID at any safari park ticket window to gain free admission, parking not included. San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is an international nonprofit conservation organization that operates two world-class parks, the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and empowers people to connect with plants and animals, develop an understanding of nature, and contribute to safeguarding wildlife everywhere by becoming wildlife allies. Visit sdzsafaripark.org and find out how seniors have free admission throughout February.
Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy in your hands or feet? One drug after another, continuing numbness, tingling, burning pain, balance problems, decreased quality of life? Are you experimenting with drugs like Lyrica, Neurontin, Gabapentin, Cymbalta with limited success and your doctor telling you just have to live with it? My name is Dr. Thomas Pilecki, DC, host of Get Better with Dr. Pilecki and founder of Neuropathy Dr. X. I'm here to tell you that there is now a non-invasive natural solution to your neuropathy right here in Santa Clarita, a solution that addresses the underlying causes, and we're proud to say that we have an 87 to 97% success rate with neuropathy sufferers in getting their lives back. I'd like to invite you to our next seminar, when we'll teach you how to reverse this deadly condition that affects over 50 million Americans today. To reserve your spot now, call 753-9340. This is a free seminar, but seating is limited, so call 753-9340 now.
Putting on the blanket, yeah! Putting on the blanket!
Hey, Ned! Oh, why are you singing about blankets? We're installing attic insulation.
Because Pacific Air's insulation is like putting our customers' home in a warm flannel blanket. We're saving them money on their energy bills, keeping their home warmer, and maybe saving the world!
Just keep blowing the insulation, Ned.
Mark and Kaylee from Pacific Air.
At Pacific Air, we really care about your home comfort.
It's a fact that outdated or insufficient insulation can lower your home comfort and increase your heating and air bills.
With our Comfort Attic package, we have a 4-step perfect attic solution that will solve your insulation problems.
With friendly techs and expert workmanship that's guaranteed for life.
No surprises, just exceptional service. Because nobody cares like Pacific Air, we think you'll say,
Wow!
When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
Learn more about our amazing insulation at pacair.com.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
It's great to be in Santa Clarita. This is Charlie Kirk inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 till 7. We'll be exploring the latest craziness in the news with my humorous, enlightening perspective. It's a fun, entertaining, and illuminating 3 hours. So let's stay informed together as we free thinkers unite weekdays from 4 to 7 on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Hometown, your hometown station.
Welcome back. This is Common Ground. I'm Jason Downs. We're here talking to Jim Sandifer, who is a longtime Santa Clarita resident since 1977, in fact, and been working construction 30 years here for the Saugus School District specifically. And someone took the bait, Jim. Someone has called in. Someone in your life, so a friend of yours, has called into the studio. We have Michael Waxman on the line, and I'm so excited to have someone join us. Michael Waxman is he's a real estate agent here in town, and is a friend of Jim's. So welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call, and it's my honor to be here to talk about Jim.
So give us the dish. What do you have for us?
Okay, it's really simple, but I think it'll all make sense and it kind of sum up who I look at Jim as. Okay. So Jim and I met about 7 years ago. Our sons were taking golf lessons together, and I was kind of hanging around, and I saw this guy. We just started talking, and it was really like we connected pretty quickly, over like a couple of times being there. And from there, we started, talking about other things, real estate, all that kind of good stuff, and became friends along the way.
Yeah.
And what I can say about Jim, just, my perception is that, first of all, he's one of the most down-to-earth, easygoing people, a heart of gold.
Yes.
And doesn't take life too seriously. However, he is like, when it comes to his work or like his projects or acting, he is the epitome of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So it's like this balance of like, hey, nothing's too serious. At the same time, like, hey, you know what? I'm managing this project, or I'm taking this part in this play, and I'm going to do it until it's right.
Yeah. So okay, so I find this interesting because I do think that one of the unique qualities here is that I don't know. I mean, obviously, you were listening. I asked him. It's rare to come across somebody who seems genuinely happy at this age, especially a white dude. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you've picked up on this as well, obviously, and you think that this is potentially part of his secret sauce. This idea that he doesn't take himself too seriously, because I'm someone that I think took myself too seriously for way too long. I didn't realize, that was sort of preventing me from being happy for many years. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I finally kind of picked up on that. But what I hear Michael saying is that there's a balance.
There's a
balance between, the laughter and the class clown, and taking what you do very, very seriously, and also what we talked about, also respecting the people around that as well. So am I hearing you? Michael? Do you agree with me on all that?
Oh, I do. And I mean, I look at Jim like, from the standpoint of like his family, close-knit family. He really, from an outsider looking in, obviously I don't know all the inner workings, but from an outsider looking in, it's like, wow, this is somebody who really sets a good example of what a family should be. And
wow, that's a huge compliment.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It's not just like I came up with it. I've told him that many times.
And I appreciate that. We had 14 people last night at Sunday night dinner, and
Whoa.
every Sunday we all gather.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Michael, when we were on the break and you called in, Jim also said that you have guided him to financial security. I'm thinking that we should probably have Michael Waxman on the show at some point to talk about
You just
this.
want to pick his brain and get some money out of him.
I do. No, I don't. I want him to teach me how to fish. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah. Well, it's a team effort again. I got to tell you, it's the team thing, and we have another person. Her name is Gigi, and she's the financial part of it, and the three of us have worked some magic over the years, and we've all kind of benefited from it. I keep looking at the speaker like Michael's there. Sorry, Michael, you're a speaker. And so it's been a team effort there too, right? So everybody's opinion matters, even though it's always been my investment, or shall I say, my wife and I's investment. And we've been very lucky. I don't know how to explain it, but he's been part of that all the way through.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, it sounds like a fascinating topic for a show. So, if you're up for it, Michael, I welcome you back sometime.
He's just as bad as me. You're gonna have to kick him underneath the table.
But I mean, just to sum it up, it's like, some people take life so seriously, and they might be perfectionists, but they get too intense about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Jim's outlook and just the things that I'm seeing him do is that, he's a perfectionist, but it's not overtaking his life. Like, he's still living and enjoying life.
I would have to agree with that. And it's funny that he just by him telling me that right now, that I realized that. And I think I could tell you I used to be really bad. Like,
before the break, we asked you, if there was something specific that happened 10 years ago or whatever. Is that the story you're going to tell? Because
there was.
I'm eager to hear
I
it.
had a lot of loss in my family. I lost my grandmother, my mother, my dad in less than 3 years altogether. And yes, I was a perfectionist. Everything had to be my way. Everything had to be set down on the counter a certain way, or or cleaned up, or my clothes had to be a certain way, or my toothbrush, it was in my garage, my tools. I mean, everything had to be perfect. And I realized after that it's not that important. It really isn't. What's really important is friends, family, or I should say family first, friends, and the relationships. It's not really about, and I can honestly say this to you, that it's not really about getting ahead. It's the relationships. And those getting ahead moments will happen naturally.
I'm loving this. I had no idea what to expect today, but I am loving it. Michael, thank you so much for calling in. And I'm serious about the offer. If you'd like to,
I'll give you $20 later, Michael.
To join.
Make it 50.
50? Oh, he just bought a new electric bike. Yeah, so he needs 50.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we welcome you back. So let me know if that's of any interest to you. And I will take this opportunity to invite anyone else who would like to call in from Jim's circle and share some insight. Again, the number is 661-298-5487. I'm having fun. Patty, are you okay? You're okay with this?
Always.
Okay. You seem a little more stressed today, and I don't want to add to your, But Michael, thank you so much. We'll
thank you.
Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, right. Bye.
All right.
And
Bye-bye.
I will tell you too, part of that, with the family, what made me realize I was working myself so hard with the 2 jobs, and everything had to be perfect. And then I started having some heart issues. And that made me realize, whoa, I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to be here for my family. It's not about how much money you make, or how much money you have in the bank, or what kind of car you drive, or how big your house is. What's really important is the family, being there for them. Because, you may drive around in a Shelby Cobra, that has 618 horsepower. But if you die next week, you're not going to be around for your kids or your grandkids to watch them go through school.
and those moments.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
That was a very specific example. You have a Shelby Cobra, don't
I
you?
sold that thing, yes. Because again, the thing had so much DNA of my skin and blood underneath the hood, keeping the thing shiny and clean. Because I was out of control with it.
Because you were such a perfectionist.
Yes.
Okay.
And so now when it, like he says, when it comes to my job, yeah, I work hard at being efficient and doing the best I can for our kids and our community.
All right, we're going to take another break, but when we come back, I want to ask you about all the change that you've seen here in our community over the past.
Do we have enough time for that?
No, we certainly don't have enough time to cover all of it, but we can at least we can dive in.
Sure.
So stick with us. We're talking to Jim Sandifer here on Common Ground. It's your hometown station, KHTS 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The Oasis treatment at the Ivy Day Spa begins with a gentle exfoliation, then rinsed away in warm showers. You're painted with a soothing aloe vera, shea butter, and coconut oil body mask. Then travel through the warm Hydro Cape chambers. The relaxation chamber completes your Oasis body moisturizing treatment with a pH balancing mist and a warm cup of tea. Feel refreshed, hydrated, and relaxed. Pamper yourself. The Ivy Day Spa, Town Center Drive.
Putting on the blanket, yeah. Putting on the blanket.
Hey, Ned! Oh, why are you singing about blankets? We're installing attic insulation.
Because Pacific Air's insulation is like putting our customers' home in a warm flannel blanket. We're saving them money on their energy bills, keeping their home warmer, and maybe saving the world.
Just keep blowing the insulation, Ned.
Mark and Kaylee from Pacific Air.
At Pacific Air, we really care about your home comfort.
It's a fact that outdated or insufficient insulation can lower your home comfort and increase your heating and air bills.
With our Comfort Attic package, we have a 4-step perfect attic solution that will solve your insulation problems.
With friendly techs and expert workmanship that's guaranteed for life.
No surprises, just exceptional service. Because nobody cares like Pacific Air, we think you'll say,
Wow!
When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
Learn more about our amazing insulation at pacair.com.
February's Senior Free Month at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Visitors 65 and older receive free admission all month long. Whether you choose to get up close to your favorite wildlife, explore our unique habitats, relax with a drink and a view at Kimajami Overlook, or come along for an unforgettable safari adventure, there's something for everyone and countless memories to be made. With each and every visit, you make it possible to save wildlife worldwide. Guests must present their valid photo ID at any safari park ticket window to gain free admission, parking not included. San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is an international nonprofit conservation organization that operates 2 world-class parks, the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and empowers people to connect with plants and animals, develop an understanding of nature, and contribute to safeguarding wildlife everywhere by becoming wildlife allies. Visit sdzsafaripark.org and find out how seniors have free admission throughout February.
Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy in your hands or feet? One drug after another, continuing numbness, tingling, burning pain, balance problems, decreased quality of life? Are you experimenting with drugs like Lyrica, Neurontin, gabapentin, Cymbalta with limited success and your doctor telling you just have to live with it? My name is Dr. Thomas Pilecki, DC, host of Get Better with Dr. Pilecki and founder of Neuropathy Dr. X. I'm here to tell you that there is now a non-invasive natural solution to your neuropathy right here in Santa Clarita, a solution that addresses the underlying causes, and we're proud to say that we have an 87 to 97% success rate with neuropathy sufferers in getting their lives back. I'd like to invite you to our next seminar, when we'll teach you how to reverse this deadly condition that affects over 50 million Americans today. To reserve your spot now, call 753-9340. This is a free seminar, but seating is limited, so call 753-9340 now.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Welcome back. You're listening to Common Ground on KHTS. I think in terms of that when I'm going into LA, but I don't think that way when I'm here in Santa Clarita. I guess again, it's just perspective. It's
Right.
all relative. You've been here since '77 when there was no traffic,
Right.
and so now obviously there's a lot of traffic compared to that. But so do you ever go downtown or go into Hollywood or anything like that occasionally?
Nope. I don't go to downtown. I usually go towards 126 Ventura,
Okay,
Oxnard.
all right. So you go to the
yeah.
beach that way. Okay.
Yeah. If anywhere else, I'd just get on a plane. But, just go to Burbank.
Go to Burbank.
But, honestly, I mean, I've timed it a couple times, and I live up Bouquet by Plum Canyon. And I lived there before Plum Canyon was cut in.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, wow.
yeah. And it just takes me 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get to the freeway. But once I'm on the freeway, I can get to Mission Hills in less than 10 minutes. Right? I mean, that's crazy. 20 minutes to get to the freeway. I mean, all of us know that anybody that's listening from 7:30 to 8:15, Monday through Friday when school's in session, right? It's just the nature of the beast, right?
I pick up my kids as they go to Plaza Rita right here around the corner. My daughter's at Hart. Yeah, there's traffic, but I don't know. I mean, I come from New York. You come on, you can't
I
come from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's what you get when you live in one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the world.
Yeah, but it's relatively a safe neighborhood and always has been that way. And I wonder if the sheriff has something to do with that, or is it? I'm not sure, but it's always been.
So it's always been
relatively low crime. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of people see
I
that.
love that about
try
you,
to come
yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
And it's still. I mean, I think we're a population of over 100,000,
330.
Is it 330? And it still feels like a small town.
Yeah.
We all still run into each other everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And
I love that about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I like that
because you still have access to the metropolitan,
Right.
All this area has to offer. And not for you, obviously, because you never go outside the Santa Clarita line. But, no, I'm kidding. But
it's and I think Santa Clarita is a very family-oriented city.
Great school. That's why we came here.
Yeah,
Family schools, and yeah, we moved from New York 7 years ago, and one of the main reasons was we wanted a great school district for our kids, and
Right, and you found it here.
And we found. I mean, this was ranked,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 in the nation. There's a few pockets around the country that have, great schools like that.
Yeah, and
this
I'm
is
not
one
trying
of
to give a plug for our school districts, but I'll tell you, I've been to several of them, when I'm going to training.
them.
And I'm very disappointed in what I see in other locations.
Really?
And you come out here, and we
Well,
would
that's incredible.
never stand for some of that. I mean, you go into bathrooms, there's no stalls, or, it's really gross. I mean, it reminds me of a restroom at the beach. I mean, that's a kid's restroom. We would never put up with that here in Santa Clarita, not for a minute.
So what are some other? You miss anything from the old days? I mean, you feel. I mean, are you someone who's a proponent for progress, and for new development and business, or
I would say honestly, I don't think I am, because I don't think we should grow anymore if we can't. We need to fix our traffic. Our signals need to be timed. Something needs to get better out here for the commuter. And the potholes and and this and that. It just seems like there could be some things that could be better.
It's so funny to me because I mean, again, I come from back east. I grew up in Maryland and then lived in New York for many years. And so you talk about potholes. I can't think of a pothole out here. Are you kidding? I mean, look. I mean, just because this area is so much more suitable to human habitation. The wear on the roads, the wear on your car, the wear on your homes, the wear on your body, on your psyche, for goodness sake, is astronomically different than where I grew up back east.
So you think it's worse? Well, it's obviously worse. Would you say it's worse there than here?
Of course. Yes, it's worse. That's what I'm saying. This is so much more suitable.
I go to Washington State
I
where it
love
snows.
my home. I love my home. I'm always going to love home. But I'm saying, as far as these things go, traffic,
minor.
You add weather to all this. Add inches and inches of rain on a given day. Add inches and inches of snow on a given day, and then add slush and salt after the snow, and then add ice after that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have no. You're complaining about a pothole, like 1 out of 8. I mean, we're talking potholes on every street, my friend.
Let me just tell you, that's because I'm a Santa Claritian. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. You're spoiled.
We have a higher standards here, right? And so, yes, you're probably right. I'm spoiled, but I still don't see my chips and dip. But anyway, the thing is,
still missing the chips.
Get the man some chip and dip, Jason.
Well, I want to crunch in the mic.
I'm taking him out for chippies and dip right after the show.
Maybe that's because I'm spoiled here. But I've gone to like Washington State where it snows, and the roads are like perfectly smooth. And I know it snows there, and they put salt on it and all this other stuff. And why can't we have that here? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Why their roads are in better condition.
In Washington State?
Yeah, in Washington State. In some places where, because I used to visit there a lot with my father-in-law. We'd go up there.
Look, I mean, there is also wear and tear, and with the amount of people that live in this area,
That's true. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
So, how long do we have, Patty?
We have about 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh,
2 minutes.
Well, let me just end by saying it's been a real pleasure. I'm so glad Michael Waxman called in, and we'll definitely have him back, and that'll be fun.
Well, I appreciate you asking me on, and I'm very surprised that no one else called, like my family or friends.
I am too. I'm disappointed in your family and friends.
Oh my goodness! Don't be disappointed.
All right, so this has been Jim Sandifer. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
And we look forward to having you back. So join us next show. We'll be speaking to the man who manages most of the movie studios in the Santa Clarita Valley. So we'll have lots of good stories there. We want to thank our sponsors, of course, Denny & Company, LLP, certified public accountants. They make your life less taxing. Reach out to Matt Denny for all your accounting needs at Denny LLP or by calling 661-286-8860. Denny & Company, they make your life less taxing. And, of course, the law offices of Lou Espin. When experience counts, count on experience at espinlaw.com. 35 years serving the Santa Clarita Valley and beyond. Lou specializes in bankruptcy, business law, commercial protection. Schedule a consultation with Lou today at espinlaw.com or by calling 661-254-5050. As always, we want to thank Patty, our engineer, Jerry and Carl, the fantastic staff here at KHTS. A pleasure to have you here on Common Ground, where we can always agree on the important stuff. I'm Jason Downs. You're listening to KHTS. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay positive.